Hi, this is a video on the volume of regular 3D shapes. Our learning intentions are that after you've watched this, you'll understand how to calculate volume, understand the units involved in volume, know how to calculate the volume of simple regular shapes, which are called prisms, know how to calculate the volume of more complicated shapes, which we're going to be making by putting those prisms together, and the prior knowledge needed is how to calculate the area of squares, circles, rectangles and triangles. I'm very quickly going to go through calculating those areas. If you've got that, you can skip through the next few seconds. Otherwise, just watch this, and if you need more detail, you'll have to go to a different video. So, areas of rectangles, triangles and circles. Let's just say that this square was 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Okay. What that means is I have 8 centimeters going across and 8 centimeters across here going down, and in total that's going to give me 8 times 8, or 8 lots of 8 squares, which are each a centimetre each, a centimetre by a centimetre. So that's 1 centimetre squared each, giving me a total of 64 centimetres squared, and that calculation is 8 by 8 gives me 64 centimetres squared. So we could use a similar line of reasoning to work out that, well, if this was 13.3 centimetres and this was 6.2 centimetres, all we'd have to do is multiply 13.3 by 6.2. That would give us this area in centimetres squared. So 13.3 times 6.2 gives us 82.46 82.46 centimetres squared. And to work out the area of a triangle, it's the same sort of idea as working out the area of a rectangle. You just have to kind of imagine that there's a rectangle around the outside of the triangle, and you should be able to see that, especially if I just draw a little dotted line down here, this triangle takes up exactly half the space of the rectangle. This part is half of this part, and this part is half of that part. So the area of the triangle is the area of the rectangle, which is the base times the height here. So let's say that was 11.5 meters, and this was 6.2 meters. That's from top to bottom. Then the area of that would be 11.5 times 6.2, but then we have to halve it or divide by 2. So you could divide by 2, or you could times by 0.5. So that gives us 11.5 times 6.2, then we divide by 2, 35.65 meters squared. So it was 165, yeah. Okay, now area of a circle. This it's a bit too complicated for us to go into now as to why this is what it is, but the area is given by pi r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. That's the distance from the centre to the outside. So if the radius was, say, 11.1 kilometers, let's say it's a very big circle, then the area would be pi times 11.1 times 11.1. So we could have 11.1 times 11.1, and we could use the pi button, or we could just use 3.14 to 2 decimal places. That gives me 386.8794, and my units were kilometre squared. Okay, now just like area has square units, volume has cube units, which we'll have a look at now. So if we say that this shape is 4 meters by 4 meters in the base here, which would give us 16, 4 times 4 would give us 16 square meters here. Each one of these is a square meter, and it's 2 meters high. Well, if we just draw in one of these cubes to start with, if it's too high, we've got a height going along here 2 meters. That gives us 2 layers, if you like. 1 meter high and 1 meter high there. And this first cube in the back corner there, I'll just draw that in, see if you can see it. This would be, that's the front face of the corner, the cube, sorry, that's the side face, and here's the top. You can see that. And then you can see that there will be space for another, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of those cubes, and they would fill up that bottom layer. So we'd have 16 there. And then there'd be room for another 16 in this top layer here. So it's 16, which we get from the area, times 2. So 2 lots of 16 would give us the number of cubes we could fit in. So that gives us 4 meters by 4 meters to give us the area of the base, times the height tells us how many of those cubic units we can fit in. So it equals, that was 16 times 2 gives us 32 meter cubed, or 32 cubic meters fitting in that space. Okay, so when it comes to calculating the volume of regular shapes, what we need to know is first, what is the area of the base and what is the height? If we just have a quick look back at what we did before, we had the area of the base, which we then multiplied by the height, and that told us how many cubic units would fit inside that space. So we need to do the same here. Okay, so let's say that this shape kind of could look like a big block of cheese maybe, is 8 centimeters high, and that this triangle has, now I know we usually talk about the sort of height and base of a triangle, but this time this triangle is flat on the ground, but let's say that that is 4 centimeters. That's from top to bottom there, and that this is also 8 centimeters. Okay, so to work that out, we need the area of the base of the triangle and then multiply that by the height. So could you just pause the video and see if you can calculate that now? Okay, so hopefully for the area of the base, you got that it is half of 4 times 8, which gives us 4 times 8 would be 32, and then half that would be 16 centimeters squared. And then we multiply by the height, as you can see here. So this is volume equals. So the volume is 16 times 8. Now you could use your calculator for that. See, that's 128 centimeters now. Really important we get our units right here, cubed. Okay, so 128 cubic centimeters would fit inside that shape. Alright, we could also do something like this, which would be, say, the kind of shape of a tin of beans or can of Coke or something like that. It's got a circular top, circular bottom, and straight sides. So this is a regular shape again, where the base is a circle. We need the area of the base times the height. So if I give you these values here, let's say the radius is 7 centimeters and the height is 21 centimeters. Pause the video and see if you can work out the volume. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is work out the area of the base. And the area of the base is pi times r squared, which is pi times 7 times 7. So we'll just use 3.14 again here. And we get 153.86 centimeters squared. And then we multiply by the height, which said was 21. So volume is 21 times 153.86. So we'll take our answer there, times it by 21, and we get 3,231.86 0.06 centimetres cubed. Okay, so calculating the volume of more complicated shapes. Let's say you are pouring a concrete slab that looks like this, and it has to be 45 centimetres deep. So you know what the shape of it is, and you know that it's 45 centimetres deep, and perhaps you know that this is 6 metres, 8 metres, 1 metre, and 5 metres there. So you have to work this out a bit like we've done already with area. The best thing to do is to chop this up into different shapes. So we can see here I've got a rectangle, and here I've got another rectangle. If this is 5, this must be 3. If this is 6 across and that's 1, this must be 5. And that means that this is 3 by 1, which is 3 metres squared, and this is 5 by 6, which gives me 30 metres squared. That was 1 times 3. So what that means is that I have a total area of 33 metres squared, and our volume would be the area of the base multiplied by the height. Now we have to be careful. This is measured in metres squared and this is measured in centimetres, and we can't mix our units, otherwise we'll get a nonsensical answer. It won't make any sense. So area of the base is 33 metres squared. We're going to multiply that by 45. Now we can't multiply it by centimetres, we have to change that to metres. So that would be 0.45 metres, and that will give us something in metres cubed. So 33 times 0.45 gives us 14.85 cubic metres of concrete needed. And our next step would maybe be to cost that up, work out how much we have to buy and how much it's going to cost us to lay a particular slab. Okay, so just to recap what we've done, pause the video, see if you can fill in these gaps, and then come back and check in a minute. Okay, let's see how you did. Volume is measured in cubic units such as centimetre squared, metre squared, millimetre squared, and so on. To find the volume of a regular shape, first you find the area of the base, and then you multiply by the height. But these must be in the same units. So you must be dealing with metres or centimetres or kilometres, but it must be the same. To find the volume of more complicated shapes, first you chop up the base, then you find the area of the base, and then you multiply by the height. Again, must be in the same units. Okay, that's it. Cheers.